Everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of the Tech for Good Challenge podcast. So, if you're interested in one of our activities, which includes the podcast, please make sure to follow us on our social media, which includes the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flipgrid, and Slack. Name Claret Research Team and share this with your friends, family, so on and so forth. Now, since we're talking about microplastics, which is in today's podcast, we have a special speaker or our new speaker. He is one of the participants in the Tech for Good Challenge, and he's from grade 12 STEM A. He is the representative for for the microplastics research team. So please welcome. I would like to welcome you. Yeah, I would like to uh, please give a round of applause for Rainy Rex Lantaka.
So hi, hello there. So I'm gonna introduce to you the microplastics. Microplastics are small particles found in the nature, most especially in the water. Microplastics is defined as any plastics particles with a dimension of less than 1 to 5 mm. It comes from the decomposition of larger plastic items in the natural environment. When plastic pollutions or materials enters to waterways, it is refers to the microplastics. Microplastics does not decompose in the same way that natural materials do. So plastic waste is currently piling up all over the world, posing a threat to the ecosystem and organisms that live within it. Microplastics have emerged as an increasing physical contaminant in the marine environment as the result of high plastic load here in Zamboanga City.
Well, to further uh, improve on the point of what Rexy said earlier, that plastics are products that can be easily produced. It is very flexible and cheap to manufacture, and thus we are now faced with the problem of plastic waste piling up, and this has been found to be contaminating our water resources, and it is usually associated with uh, mar- it is usually associated with affecting marine animals, and it is a relatively new topic to be discussed as a pollutant. Uh, so there are still ongoing researches about the microplastics and its effect, mainly about the effects of microplastic to the marine animal, to an aquatic uh, ecosystem, mainly on their tissues, in their stomachs, and many more. Uh, but there's one story that have been parallel with our situation on the plastics. It was there was a Greek goddess called Midas, and everything he touches turns to gold. And this is somehow similar to the plastic situation, because uh, plastic is somewhat gold standard to production, because it is cheap and flexible. So it is used in many of our products, and now it is becoming a problem because uh, it is it has been found out to be affecting wildlife, and if it affects wildlife, it would affect human life. And in the end, King Midas starved to death because his food also turned to gold. And for the plastics, it it can be it can be paralleled with plastic, because uh, plastics have been found to be contaminating are marine marine food resources such as fish, mainly fish, and this is where the topic of microplastic have been have been uh, this is where microplastics have been found to be a problem because fish, especially to the marine to the coastal communities that rely on marine resources, uh, their livelihood will surely be affected if the water if their resources are contaminated. And Zai, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I remember in the previous episode, Sir Daniel brought up a topic that was discussed by me about aquatic animals has some kind of plastic in their own tissues. So so what you said earlier is that, what I really remember about that time is that when since we're eating fishes too, and we what we didn't know is that there are plastics in their own tissues in a microscopic way. If I can remember of what Sir Daniel said, but if if we eat any kind of ac- any kind of fishes or other uh aquatic aquatic foods such as shrimps or lobsters or any kind, then there are side effects, but we we didn't feel anything, in my own opinion, because of what I understand of what Sir Daniel has said to the both of us. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Well, uh, to further point out what you have said, the topic of is microplastics a concern have been raising my, in my mind, have been bothering me because throughout this research, as I have been reading uh, my bacterial uh, contamination, I have found out that uh, contamination is a nuanced topic because uh, especially for bacterial because it has a term called dose response where a certain dose is considered as safe, but uh, an increased dose will surely have an effect. So in the term for microplastics, this have been an issue for me. In microplastics, uh, I in what I have found out is that they have been trying to find out if microplastics is a concern. Microplastics pollution is a concern. And and from what I have read up to now is that uh, so far it does not show that much of an effect, at least in what I have read. Uh, but the thing is, a change in our environment will mean a change in our livelihood. And to think that microplastics, chemical compound mixed with, I think it was discussed earlier of what it was made. Uh, if we were to ingest it on a regular basis, it will surely have an effect to our health. It might be unnoticeable, but uh, it still has its effect that could affect our human life. Do you have anything to say, guys?
Well, as for me, since fishes thought, for me, in my own opinion, if I am wrong, then fishes thought that plastics are food. So that is the reason why there are plastics in their own tissues. But oh, okay. Okay. So if 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 we don't stop throwing any kinds of if we don't stop throwing any kinds of plastics in the rivers, seas, any kinds of any kinds of uh yeah. Anyways, but if we don't stop, then then the situation will get worse. Like what you like just what Jed said or James said. Um, there are going to be some side effects of our own health. There are going to be a lot of health issues, and then it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect. It does not. I mean, wait. It it affects not just human life but also to marine life because like I said again in the previous episode, maybe around second episode or first episode maybe, um that they play a vital role in this planet. So that's my take.
Rexy, do you have anything to say? Then
Okay, hello. Um, to ano lang, to elaborate lang sa microplastics, siguro siguro mas naging harmful din ito sa mga, yun nga, marine organisms. So, ito yung mga tips to how to prevent inflation of microplastics. First is to reduce or avoid using plastics. That's the one priority. Then second is improving recycling rates. Then preventing littering. Then filtering fibers. Then avoiding microbeads. Then lastly, spread the word to the world. That's it.
wow. Hmm. Uh, that is a credible answer. Novi, do you have anything to say?
I additional lang the presence of microplastics in the environment has sparked over their potential health implication. The concern have been raised about the quality of studies conduct to assess their safety. And actually, around the world, the mass of plastic went up in landfills, rivers, and eventually lakes and seas. Mm, and microplastics exposure, sabi nga, sabi nga ni Jed kanina, can be detrimental to marine organism and kill them through slow physical and chemical process. Ingesting plastic can kill or injure animals. And for for Nicole, hindi kasi siya like ma-open ang mic kasi may na daw signal nila. So I'll be the one who speaks in this session for her. Um, Microplastics comes in variety of ways. It can be ingested by animals, mainly marine animals, which can lead to blockage and gastrointestinal tracts. When we say variety of ways, it can be domestic products, plastic bag, and maybe anything that it is considered as plastic. That's from Nicole. Um, additional din from preventing what we call this preventing inflammation um is putting poster, yun lang.
That is certainly true, and this is why we're doing this challenge. It is not only to research the water contamination, but also to advocate our cause and to share to others what we have found out in a local scale and 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 raise awareness to the community. And that is a goal for SDG Goal 6.3, which is to promote local cooperation. And As said earlier, one of the speakers, Nicole Alexis Papa, have experienced technical difficulty and and will be sending Norwegian her answers and will speak on her behalf. So to continue on this topic, uh, certainly the promoting tips to reduce microplastics contamination is important to our uh, to our challenge because what what is there to what is the purpose of acknowledging this information if we won't act on it? What will be the significance of this challenge if it's just all papers and studies. uh, I believe Rexy has some topics to open up. Rex?
Hello, hello. Um, siguro sa negative in marine life na lang siguro for me to include. Plastics are indigestible and non-biodegradable, and once manufactured, they are impossible to get rid of it. And the bulk of plastics in the world wind up in landfills, rivers, and eventually lakes and seas. So microplastics exposure, especially at high quantities, could be harmful to our marine organisms. So especially siguro sa yun, sa mga fish, ganon ganon ganon.
Yes, as what it as what it have been we have been discussed, uh, microplastic stemming from our use of plastics. uh, it is often it is often uh, go through our water systems uh, uh, in a scenario where if if it end up if it ends up in a landfill, it could it could it could go it could be dumped to a lake, and or a rain washes it off and expose it and brings it to a water body. It would certainly contaminate the said nearby water body, as as plastic can can harm the environment. So I think that is all. Uh, can we
Bro,
move?
I have something to say.
Yeah, go.
I have, um well, yes, bring awareness and advocate is really a thing for us. But my number one concern is the people, because um even though there are rules like not throwing any trashes on the sea, but they still throw it everywhere. Like, it's really it really concerns me, because because what they didn't know is they are slowly destroying marine life. And like I said again, um they play a vital role, and without them, then what will happen to our seas, and also to the rivers, lakes, streams, any of it. They play a vital role, and without them, I don't know what is going to happen, but I know that there is something wrong that will occur later on if we don't stop any of it. So that is why we bring awareness and advocate for the safetyness of the marine animals, and also the for the what do you call this for for the sake of the seas, the rivers, lakes, anything that is uh that is um that is matter. So yeah, that's for me.
So I think that will be all for everyone. Uh, if everyone agrees, Zydrix, would you like to end this podcast?
So before we end in today's podcast, we would like to thank you for listening our fourth episode of the Tech for Good Challenge podcast. So before we officially end the fourth episode, if you're interested in one of our activities, which includes the podcast, please make sure to follow our social media, which is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Flipgrid, and Slack. Name Claret Research Team. Share this with your friends, families, so on and so forth. And so before that, we would like to thank Rexy for joining us in today's podcast. Thank you so much, Rexy, for for being here in today's podcast. We really appreciate for what you did for the sake of the future. So stay tuned on episode 5, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Ake lang. Bye bye.